First method to doubling your profits in your construction business is a pricing change. Improve your pricing. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that's just so easy. That's so generic. But the truth is, if you are having 10% profit margins and you add an extra 10% of margin on top of that, you've doubled your profits instantly, essentially. And I know what you're going to say, but then I'm going to lose a bunch of jobs. I hear this from every single contractor I talk to, and I ask them, how do you feel about your pricing? They always think they're on the higher side. Even guys that I know are undercharging what their competitors are charging, they still believe that they're on the higher side. So that's often a mental block of where you feel like you've been, beaten over the head by clients so many times where they're like, oh, it's too much. It's outside of our budget. We went with somebody cheaper. Clients are going to say that like 90% of the time, even when it's not true. And even if that is the case, you're looking for clients who are the right fit, who are going to be able to pay what you need to charge in order to be and have a good, solid, profitable construction business. I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to do that in just a second. But to understand this, if you've got a new home, let's say, 500,000, 10% margin, you made $50,000. Not bad, but nothing to, get too excited about. But if you add an extra 10% margin on top of that, now you're making $100,000 on that same project. A little more exciting. If you're like, well, I can't just raise my price 10%, margins, which is like a 12% markup and expect to still land jobs. The truth is people are doing it across the country. It is happening everywhere. You have competitors in your market who are charging twice as much and making twice as much profit. Now, what you need to get in place to handle this is increments. So if you think a 10% price change is too much for you right now, do 5%. Even a 5%, margin increase is still going to make you an extra $25,000 on that project and put you in a much better place. And then as you grow or as you get more comfortable selling those types of jobs, you can increase it slowly to 10%. Now, branding alone can help you gain an extra 5 to 10% in margins because of the expected value of your company. And you may be an amazing company and do amazing work and have an amazing reputation. But if people look online or they see advertising that you're doing and it looks mediocre or it looks like a cheap contractor, they're going to expect cheaper prices and they're not going to want to pay you what you're worth. The other thing is having a high converting sales process. So a good pre-construction sales process that you're bringing in leads and converting them into clients through an iterative process where they're making a small commitment in the pre-construction agreement and then you're moving them on into the full construction contract. So having the right sales process and the right branding can easily help you gain 5 to 10% extra margins without dropping your closing rate. And even if your closing rate drops slightly, it is well worth the additional twice as much profit, because if you make twice as much profit per job, you need half as many jobs to essentially make the same amount of money you are already. So I highly doubt your closing ratio is going to drop by half just by raising your prices slightly.